One. Ladies and gentlemen, the long awaited, highly anticipated return, do over. Great to have you back, Katie Lewis, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, you're a blast, sister. You're a blast. And this is getting into, you know, your life. You're a real great student, right? Didn't we just get on the academic team or some sort?
We did. I mean, Viz has so many good students that we all kind of are competitive in school with one another, and I think that helps me to keep my grades up. And it was a really cool moment because that's the first time I've ever been on that team, so it was pretty cool.
Well, that's why you're well certified, sister. That's how you start the day off, getting well certified. So, congratulations to you. And are you
Thank
finished?
you.
Have you graduated yet?
Yeah, we graduated last week, and we kind of have a weird graduation tradition where we do graduation and then maypole, which I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but it was pretty cool. A little weird, but it was cool.
Well, you gotta get. Come on, you perked my interest. What's a mapo?
It's I don't even know how to describe it. We weave ribbons around this pole. It's with your class. It's supposed to be one last thing you do, and it's I don't want to say I don't know how to describe it
Okay.
honestly. It's
All
but
right.
yeah, I would say we kind of weave ribbons around this pole. It's the best way to put it.
All right then. All right. So here it is. You're you've been there. You weren't a transfer student. You've been there for 4 years. Uh,
Yes.
can you bring us down? Walk with us down the memory lane and say, talk about your seventh grade. Start at seven and then work your way up to present.
Sure, I can do that. I think seventh grade was a weird year because that was the COVID year. So in the fall, I got the entirety of my club season in, which was good because I think a lot of seventh and eighth grade is a lot about development and trying to get ready for high school and getting you ready for college. Even though it's early, it just takes a lot of time. And so seventh grade, the beginning of the year was great. I was at my club season. And then when COVID hit was the year that I made the switch to Fuse and I joined the GA team and did online school and all that. And then eighth grade, the beginning, we were still online. So I was really playing a lot of soccer during online school and had a lot more free time, which was really nice because we were traveling a lot with the GA because it was my first time ever playing at that high of a level. So it was really cool to see that. And then I was a trapped '06, so I'm on the younger side. So instead of going to high school with the rest of my team, I stayed with club for that extra season. And I played, we had two teams. We just had so many kids. So they split the teams in half. So I was playing double the games in the spring with a whole bunch of new kids, which I think really helped me for high school when my freshman year started. We, I mean, I feel like our first season in the GA was a little rough because we had a bunch of new kids trying to get used to playing with each other. And then I think freshman year was kind of a turn. I think that was the first year we qualified for playoffs after our fall season, which was really cool. And then we went right into high school because it's a really quick turnaround where we play our last games and then it was tryouts are the next day. So I ended up making varsity my freshman year. And at the time, Coach Kenny was not the coach. Another, it was two different coaches. And we had a really good season. We had a really good team, a lot of really good seniors. We ended up making it to the district final, but fell short to Webster, who is always a really good program. And then we went to nationals that year and unfortunately did not make it out of the group stages, but I think it was a good experience for everyone to be like, we want to come back and do this again next year. And that's kind of what we did. Our sophomore year, we were kind of stronger than ever. And we had a really good club season. And then again, it's that quick turnaround right into high school. And I made the decision my sophomore year to not play high school soccer. I stayed with club and did the composite team. So we went all over like the East Coast, which was cool because I had never been to the East Coast, like North Carolina. We went to Virginia for Jefferson's Cup, and we were kind of all over the place, which I think was a good experience and definitely helped me with exposure for recruiting and like meeting a bunch of new people, which was really cool. And then nationals came, and we ended up trying to think about it. We ended up making it out of group stages. And because of the weather in New Jersey at the time for GA, we got to play our quarterfinal game at home. And we played a very, very good team for Virginia and unfortunately lost. But again, it's like a motivator to come back and want to win. And then junior year, club season, we went undefeated all but one game. I think we tied one game. And I think it was a weird year because even though I was a junior, we had 05 girls who were seniors, and it's like kind of that start of that trap season again. And so it's learning to play with new people and like adapting to the game because soccer's not always the same, like one-way street. Like there's a lot of different ways to play it. And then I decided to go back to high school soccer. I just missed it too much. I was like, I need to play for my school. And again, we had a really, really good team, 18 seniors on the team. And we had a really tough district with Coriezu, Webster, St. Joe. And we played the state championship, Coriezu, in the district semifinals. Ended up losing 2-0. But I think it was just kind of a little bit of a hard year to see 18 seniors go because it was like our whole team. It was really sad, but we started getting ready for high school season in the summer even. Like we played a couple like scrimmages with some other schools and just trying to get the freshmen to come out. And then my senior year club season was amazing. We went undefeated through our fall season and Champions League, which was really cool. It was a lot of fun, and I'm playing with a lot of new girls because I'm still trapped. So I joined the 07 GA team with a couple of my other teammates, and now we're getting ready for nationals because we unfortunately just ended our high school season last night. We lost in overtime to Parkway West 2-1, but I think it was a really good game to kind of end the season on because we fought really hard, and now it's kind of just part for college and nationals. So, yeah.
And what college is that, Katie?
I'm going to St. Louis University for soccer and school, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, yeah. So, is it loaded with goalkeepers?
I think there's going to be 3 of us, and the other 2 girls there are really talented, and I'm really excited to meet them and like learn off of each other and be able to they're both older than me, so be able to experience like they've already been in college, so get all that knowledge from them I think will be really important.
Right on. And you talked about there's so many different ways to play. Well,
Yes.
and, and that is it correct me if I'm not in agreement with you, is that I'm thinking that the game, many different, but there's only certain ways that you can play the position of goalkeeper, aka goal player. Would that be something you would agree to?
I definitely do. I think there are multiple different ways you can play the position. Like, I think it also depends on like your height and like your ability. Like, if you're really, really athletic, maybe you're a little bit more aggressive. And like, if you're really good with your feet, maybe you build out more. Or like, if you're really, really tall, like maybe you're really good in the air and like you try to play to those assets. And I think for me, when I was kind of thinking about that, like in club, we build out more and it's a lot more like using your center backs versus like high school. I punt and I kick a lot. And I think there's it depends on how your team is too, that your different assets can come out based on who you're playing with or playing against.
There you go. There you go. You know, as far as adjusting to the way, and then have you tried to blend in with your feet to be able to use your feet far as moving within the 6 yard box and how you distribute, settle, play out, bubble boom, bubble bang.
I think a goalkeeper having good feet is one of the biggest things that can be used in the game, because like if your team's under a ton of pressure, like your center backs are, they have nowhere to go, they need to be able to drop it to you and reset and find your shape again and be able to kind of expand the defense. I think it would be really hard not to use a goalkeeper in a way with their feet, because you're also, when you become a field player, it becomes like you're a number up. You have a different advantage that maybe the other team doesn't have. Like, it's important to be able to use the feet to reset pressure and be able to give your center backs and wing backs and even sometimes your holding mid help, because if a team's a really high pressing team, it can drop us back, give us a second, and then we can keep going.
Right on. Are you familiar with Franz Hook and his um, terminology of being a goal player?
I am not.
All right, then. Well, I just laid the information out on you, and I'm sure you're going to Google and research and get into, and we'll be talking about it later.
I will.
All right, then. I'm a big fan of stats, meaning that it's something not you're going to do, it's what you've done. And the the way of being a game changer, the way of being a player of the match. What have you done? What did you do today? You know, and so your stats. And I come from the school of if you want to be a real good goalkeeper, you play on the team that is struggling the most, and you put yourself there to you know rise all boats. And the be having shutouts is more team that you know they didn't take any shots. They took one shot and you were able to stop it. But here it is with your stats according to the St. Louis today. And correct me if I'm wrong or they misprinted, okay?
Okay.
All right then. Your number one listing for goals against average. You're not even listed for shutouts. Forget about it. Saves, you're up in the making saves is that you have a lot of shots, and it's really not team. You know, you're not supposed to have a lot of shots, but you had over 180, close, I guess, close to 200 saves when you were number 8 in the area, and the other 7 above are schools that they're lower class and you hardly ever hear about. And then you're number 1 in the save percentage. Now, on the full disclosure, my name is Kevin One Shot Whale. Is one shot, one goal. I mean, you know, okay. But you had a lot of saves and a few goals scored against you. Say like for 2-1. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't hear about it, but I'll say this and fill in the blanks, Katie, will you?
Okay.
Parkway West Longhorns is a very attacking minded team. No bow, no how. They want to score more than anybody else. They're okay to win 9-8, and
Yes.
and so the story comes by you went. I My heart goes out to you and your Vizettes losing 2-1, but like you said, you finished strong because that means that everybody really, really played their A game to make it 2-1 with the type of season that you have had prior to that and what they had. So you losing 2-1 is, moral victory.
I think so. I think like going into it, we knew it was going to be a tough game, and we knew that Parkway West really liked to play big, really fast to their forwards, and we knew like, well, we had to press their backs and kind of make them play and deny the long service. And I think we did that. I mean, we went down 1-0 7 minutes into the game off a fast break. So we were really fighting to come back kind of the whole time. And we had a freshman step up in a really big moment and bury a free kick. And we tried our best. I mean, we almost scored in the first overtime. We had a header that unfortunately I think hit one of their players on the goal line. And I think one of those things is just you need a couple of the bounces to go your way, and it unfortunately didn't happen. But I think for being seeded the 6th seed, playing a 3 seed, we definitely gave them a run, and we fought for I think all 90 minutes, 95 minutes that we played.
Wow, I was unaware it even went overtime. Way to go,
Yes.
man. Yeah, wow. And so that would mean to me that you made a lot of saves. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And you kind of made saves that if a keeper with less skill, the ball would have went in the net and they would have scored. Am I saying it right, or is it all right into your belly? The ball, you just wrapped it up.
I mean, I think a couple of them, I mean, every game comes with it where it was routine saves that I think anybody could really make. I think there were maybe 2 or 3 that were really tough shots that I had to kind of like dig deep for. And I think it was a breakaway, and then a couple times where I got tested with my shot stopping. But I think there were just a few moments where it was like really tough and a lot for like my center backs and me. But I think overall I wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of my center backs, because they definitely shut a lot of it down, and it was just a tough team game overall.
Nice. And so, how about this, Katie? If I was to tell you angles, balance, and communication, would you know what those mean? The ABC.
I think so.
All right, then we're gonna go through. This is the first time. This is the first time. What would A mean?
Angles, so like your angle play on the game, if a shot's to the sides, you shoot them to the front post or to the far post. If you're on a breakaway, how far do you come off your line and get big to kind of reduce the shooting angle of the forward? And I think goalkeeping, it's a lot of angle play, and like when you're on your ball line versus off your ball line, it can make a really big difference. And I think it's important to be trained with angles to know where to be and how to get to the next spot efficiently.
Magnificent, Katie. And that's why you're whale certified, sister. Nice going. Okay.
Thanks.
Now, about B.
Balance, I think for me, balance comes a lot with like your set shape and not overcommitting to one side of your body, or if you're on a cross, like having good footwork to be balanced, to be able to go up into the air. I think a lot of times in goalkeeping, it can be easy to overcommit, but with balance, it's kind of like if you don't overcommit early or don't guess and have good balance, your percentages of saving the ball go up. That's how I see balance.
And that's why you're whale certified. That's exactly right. So you got the AB. You're on the third one. C.
C, what was C again? You just said I just slipped my mind. What was C again?
I didn't give you the. That's giving you the answer. No, I was saying A, B, C. What would you say they are?
Oh gosh, I think angles, balance, and then C would be communication.
That's why you're whale certified. Hey, soak in your genius. Soak in your genius, sister. Nice going. All right. So, talk about the communication.
I think communication's important when you're organizing your back four because if you can stop shots before they get to you, it helps not only your team but it helps you because it can take pressure off your backs and like being able to move your team around and organize what's in front of you because you can see the whole field. You're one of the only positions that can do that. So being able to move the people in front of you to stop goals before they even get to you is really important, I think, in the game or life of a goalkeeper.
Way to go. I mean, you got me goosebumps, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, the mind, body, and soul of a goalkeeper, and you're all there, sister. Nice going.
Thanks.
So on a full disclosure, did you listen to a lot of previous whale certified episodes, or how did you find out about the ABCs?
One of my good friends, Devin Tracy, was on your podcast, I think a couple months ago after their big win against St. Joe, and we trained together, and she's a really good person to train with, and we push each other, and you might have mentioned it in her podcast, or I think we might have talked about it the first time we talked earlier in the season, but I've heard it before. I think you interviewed two of my teammates last season, two seniors. I think that they were both center backs. And it might have come up just in center back play. But I know I've probably heard it in your discussion with Devin.
Man. I'm going to give you another whale certified on that one, sister. Way to go, man. Way to go. And, well, I'll give you this. You are now whale certified assistant.
Thank you.
Yes. That with your great coach and new goalkeeping coach over at St. Louis University, it would whale certified. You could be my assistant, and you're my go-to person to all things goalkeeping.
Oh, thank you.
And then once you start understanding how to be a goal player, we'll have several more episodes on that.
Okay.
All right. So you have 10 more minutes with me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. You're so it's informative and entertaining and informative. E before I, or what, however it goes. So the story goes is that here it is. You're done. There's no, I don't know what you're going to do today, but there's no practice today, and there's no game today. So that's the new type of how you're going to handle that, and being the scholar champion that you are you going to give us, Whale Certified Nation, a little glimpse of what your day is going to be like today?
Today I think it's been high school season's a lot on the body because you practice every day and you play up to 2 to 3 games a day. So I mean, today I think I'm just gonna kind of do a little bit of active recovery and just try and get my body moving because I cannot sit all day. I need to go for like a walk or a jog just to get my body moving. And then I'm going to the chiropractor today because I think that's been important to keep my back loose because it's high school and just goalkeeping in general is a lot of hitting the ground. And I'm going to do that. And then just I think I'm gonna. This is more tomorrow, but go watch the end of our district and cheer on Parkway West and like the other teams that we have to kind of see who wins it and who takes home the title. And just even though today's a recovery day, like it's gonna get right back into the swing of things with club very soon. So yeah.
Wow, that's magnificent, man. That's the true. You love the game, don't you, sister?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and I mean, what a fine representative you are of the position. You you know, you're a goalkeeper's goalkeeper, and you're going to be a goal player, sister. You know. Now, do you have aspirations of the professional?
I definitely do. I definitely want to be able to find myself in the pro game after college. I mean, I don't know what lies ahead of me because it's not super far away because 4 years can go quick, but I definitely want to be able to play pro if the opportunity presents itself.
Right on. Now, how about this? You being the scholar champion that you have always been, when you, your friends, parents looked 4 years ago and you talked to the coaches, and Chris Kenny comes in and you talk to him and this and that, is it pretty much, did you dot the I's and cross the T's of what your goal setting was and how you thought it was going to be like, or was it completely different than what you started in?
I think going in, if we start like my freshman year, I knew that I wanted to play college soccer like right away. I was like, this looks so much fun. Like, this is what I want to do. And with the club side of things, we always do IDPs and like development plans with our coaches. And mine was with our goalkeeping coach, but we kind of just talked about a plan and like, do you want to go? Do you want to stay close to home? Do you want to stay in the south and be like warm? Do you want to go up north and like, or East Coast, West Coast? Like, we had all those meetings. And with CK as my coach, like, he would always talk to me and like check in and be like, how's it going? Like, what are your goals still? Like, what do you want to work on this season? Because him and I talked a lot this year. Like, what do you want to work on for this game? How do you want to get better for this game? And we would kind of pick one thing for me to focus on, him and then my goalkeeping coach, Jay Zaber. We would talk about that and just focusing on short-term things that could help me in the long run for my goals that I have for college and all of that.
And as far as under full disclosure, when you mention TK, are you mentioning the Tim Kelly?
No, I was mentioning Coach Kenny. We call him CK on the team, but I meant Coach Kenny. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, CK. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need new headsets, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we have a go fund. I sorry. Yeah. CK, I would have picked up on it right away. Yeah, right. Yeah. What a magnificent coach he is. And Jay, I mean, he doesn't have to take a back seat to nobody.
Yes.
You've had some really good coaching, and they all were state champions with the U High boys over there at on Oakland.
Yeah, they had a really good season in the fall, and it's funny. Our one of our assistants, and he helps with the JV team, John Roy. He coaches at DeSmet. So we were joking yesterday. We're like, you guys have to go back to your rivalry now, State versus DeSmet.
Okay, yeah, and that's the thing you mentioned throughout about the team and how the communication between one and the, if you really like your teammate, it's kind of easier to play. What what have what would you if you right now talking to you as a freshman, what would you tell yourself back then now for you back then?
Um, I think as a freshman, I would just like remind myself to be yourself on the field and be confident, because when you're a freshman playing high school soccer, you're like, oh gosh, these girls are 4 years older than me. This is kind of scary. But if you're just yourself and you bring your personality to the game and you're confident and kind of like step up to the challenge, it can definitely help not only yourself be present in the game, but like lead your teammates to be like, okay, like we have a strong presence back there. Like we got this, like we can push through. And I think that's what I would remind myself.
Nice. Fantastic. Now, I've asked you before, is there something I shouldn't ask you? This is what I got to do. I think it would really. What would you say to you? What's your personal self talk right now, where you're at for your season, for your 4 years? What are you talking to yourself about?
I think the mental like game part of goalkeeping is really big, because when it can happen when like the ball goes in the back of the net and you're like, that's my fault, but that's not the case. Like it's a team sport, and like I wouldn't be able to make the saves I make without my teammates. So it's like reminding myself that we're in this together, and like if we do concede, I kind of like to reset my mind and just like focus in on like what's in front of me, and just trying to keep positive self-talk for myself and for my teammates, I think can help, especially like yesterday when we go down early. Like you can't just like give up. You have to be like, we got this, we have time. And like kind of bringing yourself up with your teammates, it can allow you guys to like stay in the game. And like I think that's been a big part for me over the past 4 years, is like the mental side and leading out of like a perfectionist mindset, because I think I do have that, and being able to be like, this is a team sport, we're in this together, like let's go, like we have this whole game ahead of us. So yeah.
And that's why you're a Wales certified assistant. I mean, that is magnificent. That is magnificent. And that really is the way, sister. And, you know, it's going to be harder. It's going to be different going forward. But, pay attention. You're not too poor to pay attention, sister. And to understand that this way is a beautiful way, and be consistent. It's going to be all kinds of different. You mentioned earlier you were totally excited about your new adventure, huh?
Yes, I am. I'm so excited to be able to go and play with these new girls. Like my recruiting class is awesome. I love them, and we've gotten to be able to know each other over the past 2 years, and like going in with such talented players and like learning off of them, because a lot of these girls have been in the college game, and like learning from their experiences and like how they fought through challenges. I think it's a really cool experience, and just bringing a group of girls together from all over the country is something that's unique, and you're able to learn off people and hopefully win games together, and like you have a whole season to learn and grow together and come together as a team. And I think that's what's unique about college.
Right on, right on. And all the history of St. Louis University, Lady Billikens, huh?
Yes.
That is that one of was it a like a no, really no thought process, or did Chris Kenny pay for your schooling, or he went to St. Louis University also?
I've had a lot of family go to SLU. Just I've had an uncle that was a swimmer there. I've had a lot of family members go there for law school, med school, all that kind of stuff. So I think just having that history in my family pushed me to look at it. And like, I saw, obviously they were led by Coach Shields and like their winningness history. I think it's something that's really cool. And how competitive they are, I think that's kind of what led me to look deeper into their history, and that was pretty cool.
Nice. And under full disclosure, did you take some trips around the country?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when we had a showcase and stuff, we would go, like if I took one of my teammates, we would go and we'd look at other schools, because if we're in California, I probably won't be there besides soccer just because it's so far. So like we would go and we would look at all these different schools, and it was pretty cool.
Nice. Okay, then. So there we come up to the wrap of it. Is that the next time we talk, you might be in that All-Star game, the senior All-Star game, and or you'll be a college Billiken, Lady Bill, and so you're. This is the end of the beginning. So here,
Yes, that's kind of crazy to think about.
yeah. So here it is, sister. Whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to, for as long as you want to say it for. This is your chance.
I guess just now that like everything with high school is really over, I think for any like incoming eighth graders or current freshmen, just knowing that you're never too young to lead a team and kind of step up and face the challenges. Because I know the group of seniors that just graduated out of Viz Soccer, like we all stepped up kind of as like some of us freshmen, some of us sophomores. Like it was really early on, and having the ability to lead and help your team is something that you should never be like nervous to do, because being yourself on the field is one of the biggest things that you can take to the game, and just let your personality shine in the game because it can help those around you. So yeah.
Wow. Well, Katie, you're the first one. You're the first Wales certified assistant. And I mean, gosh, what a magnificent granddaughter you are, a daughter, a friend, a sister, a cousin, teammate, a player. It's just everything about you is just the best.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I want to applaud you publicly, and to say that great things are ahead, and we're here for you. And Wales certified will always be there, and your friends and stuff, you say, hey, you need a little Wales certification.
I will.
All right, then. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Katie Lewis, and we're going to keep our eye out, aren't we, sister?
I guess, yeah.
All right, then. And you're Wales certified, and you know that I know that you too can be Wales certified. And can you say it with me, sister?
Sure.
In three, okay. In 3, 2, 1. Wales certified.
I forgot to say, I thought we were going to say anybody can be well certified. We might need to redo that one.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do it again. Retake. 3, 2, 1.
Well certified.
Nice. All right, then. Have a pleasant day, and we'll hopefully see you at the All-Star game.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right then. The best to you and your family. Bye bye.
Thank you, you as well.
And
Bye.
and go Viz. Go
Yes,
Viz.
go Biz.
All right. Bye bye.